Imagine if we'd all been misreading the signs. If every smile, every glance, and every moment together that seemed so real actually hid a completely different story. Behind the seemingly perfect screen, a confession emerged that shook fans. A confession that came not from them directly, but from those closest to them and who knew everything. And since then, one big question has haunted everyone. What really happened? For years, the public had been led to believe there was something more going on than just professionalism. Every project they worked on together always displayed a chemistry that was hard to describe in words. It wasn't just acting, but a feeling that seemed to overflow from the screen and reach the audience's hearts. Many said it was too real to be just an act. Many fans began to piece together small pieces, behind-the-scenes interactions, interviews, even simple, seemingly spontaneous gestures. All of this then woven into a grand theory that continues to grow. The theory that their relationship was far deeper than what was publicly revealed. However, as with any great story, there's always another side that's rarely revealed. And this time, that side came from an unexpected source. Their managers, the people behind all the important decisions, finally issued a statement that immediately changed the long-held narrative. According to them, many things had been misinterpreted. The apparent closeness wasn't something planned to fuel speculation, but rather the result of hard work and high professionalism. They explained that what appeared to be a special moment was actually part of the process of building the characters and the relationships between the actors. However, this statement only sparked an even greater backlash. Instead of quelling the rumors, fans were even more divided. Some accepted the explanation as truth, but many felt there was something still being hidden. How could two people display such a strong connection without any real feelings behind it? The question lingered in the minds of many. Some fans even began digging up old moments, trying to find clues they might have missed. On the other hand, others argued that this was precisely where their brilliance lay. As actors, they were able to create an illusion so powerful it was difficult to distinguish from reality. And if that were true, then what they did was truly extraordinary. But the story doesn't end there. There are small details that make things even more confusing, like how they often seem to understand each other without needing many words, or how their spontaneous reactions in unexpected situations feel so natural. Some call it coincidence, others call it proof. The more people try to find answers, the deeper the mystery becomes. Even after an official statement is released, no one is truly satisfied, because sometimes the answers given only open up more questions. In the entertainment world, the line between reality and illusion is often blurred. What we see doesn't necessarily reflect what's really happening. And in this case, that line feels even thinner. It's possible that everything is just high-level professionalism, but there's also another possibility that hasn't been fully revealed. Something known only to them and those closest to them. And perhaps that's what makes this story so compelling. The lingering uncertainty, the ever-evolving theories, and the hope that never truly dies. Fans are now at a crossroads, choosing to believe what's being said, or sticking with what they've always felt. There are no right or wrong answers, just different perspectives. What's clear is that this story has left a deep mark, not just as a piece of entertainment, but as a phenomenon that demonstrates how emotions and perceptions can shape reality. And perhaps, in the end, it's not about what actually happened, but about how this story made people believe, hope, and feel something they rarely find elsewhere. Because behind all the rumors and speculation, there's one thing that's undeniable. They've created something so powerful that it lives on, even when the truth is questioned. So now the question is yours. After all that's been revealed, which one do you believe? But if we look deeper, there's an interesting pattern that's often overlooked. Every time the rumors subside, a new moment always emerges that fuels speculation once again. It's as if this story never truly ends, but rather continues to evolve with time and public attention. Some fans have even begun to question whether this is all pure coincidence. Is it possible for two people to continue engaging in a dynamic like this without other factors at play? Or is it the result of something more complex, something that can't be fully explained logically? On the other hand, others try to see things from a more realistic perspective. The entertainment industry is known for its ability to shape perceptions. What appears to be a well-thought-out plan, a strategy designed to maintain appeal and relevance in the public eye. Yet, strangely, the more one tries to explain it rationally, the more one feels that there's an emotional element that can't be ignored. There's a warmth in their interactions that's hard to fake, something that feels genuine even under the spotlight. Some moments even went viral not because they were advertised, but because they felt too real to the audience. The spontaneous reactions, the genuine laughter, even the way they looked at each other, it all felt like small pieces of something bigger. And therein lies the biggest dilemma for fans. Should they believe what's officially said, or trust what they see and feel for themselves? Because sometimes, the heart has its own way of judging the truth. Over time, this story turned into more than just a rumor. It became a social phenomenon, with people from all walks of life engaging in endless discussions, theories, and even debates. Interestingly, despite the lack of clear confirmation, interest in this relationship only grew stronger. It was as if the unsolved mystery was the main draw that kept people coming back for more. And perhaps, behind all this, there's one simple, often forgotten truth. Not every story needs a definitive answer. Some stories are meant to be felt, debated, and remembered, without ever being fully revealed. But there's one thing many have come to realize over time. The harder we try to find definitive answers, the further away they seem. It's as if the story wasn't meant to have a clear ending, but rather continues to live in the gray area between fact and feeling. Some fans have come to terms with this uncertainty. They choose to savor each moment without trying to force meaning behind it. For them, whatever the truth is no longer as important as the emotional experience they've had so far. On the other hand, there are still those who persist in the belief that one day all will be revealed, that there will be a moment, a statement, or an incident that finally explains everything. That hope remains alive, despite being tested time and again by reality. And amidst it all, the story continues, quietly but surely. It no longer belongs solely to those involved, but to everyone who has followed, believed, or even doubted it. A story that has become a part of many people in different ways. Perhaps, in the end, what makes this story so unforgettable isn't the answer, but the long journey filled with emotion, hope, and questions. Because sometimes, it's not certainty we seek, it's the feeling that we were once part of something truly meaningful.